are more gambling than slots is because you always win something out of them. You get cards, you have a tangible object. It's just sometimes not the one that you wanted. So it's not the exact same thing as slots, but it's quite close. It's kind of the same thing. And anyway, should I stop playing retail or switch to classic? Probably just play retail. 9.1 is going to come out in a few days, so I think it'll be good. Blackjack is the same thing. And I think that like poker here is definitely more skill than luck. I think that there's probably a more than 50% of poker is skill, and the other 50% is probably luck. Or sorry, less than 50% is probably luck. 100% right. Most rash person on Twitch. I'm trying to explain this in a good way. So anyway, this is pretty much what I see gambling as. This is why I think that this is how I define gambling and where I think gambling is good or where I think gambling is bad. So I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas casinos. I agree 100%. Yeah, I think so. 9.1 being good is the biggest gamble you've talked about today. Unfortunately, I think that it's sometimes a little bit more of a cope. But listen, I'm excited to play 9.1. I really am. But yes, of course, there are some negatives involved with it. Do you think channel point gambling can be addicting for kids? I mean, sure. But I don't think channel point gambling is as harmful as watching slots. So the thing is that there is not necessarily everybody here has a different line. Like, this is where some people's line is. 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 And the point that I'm making is that I think that everybody can agree that investing in crypto and playing slots, besides some of the cryptos, are probably different levels of gambling. Right? Or playing poker and playing slots. I think like there is a different level of outcome expectation around playing poker versus playing slots. I think this is something everybody can agree on. Yes, okay, everybody pretty much agrees on this. So I'm not necessarily saying that they need to ban poker, even though poker does have an element of luck to it and an element of gamble to it. What I am saying is that they should ban something like slots. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. Skill is high probability of a successful investment. Yeah, of course, right? Blackjack and poker are fine. And so where do you draw the line? I think that right now, most people could agree that slots is bad on the website, right? I mean, that's probably a bad thing. Yeah. So like after that, then go from there. But I think pick up the easy, low-hanging fruit. Like, let's get the easy one out of the way. And this is the way I see it, at least. One slot streamer says they live in Malta, yet they turned up on Michelin's Perfect Vibe video. Do you think that fool the feds? Here's one thing that a lot of people might believe, is that they might actually think that there's going to be some sort of like legal ramifications for this kind of stuff. Maybe that will happen, but I find it unlikely. I definitely find it unlikely. So let's go ahead. We're going to look at a few more of these. And then we're going to move on. Pause this real quick.
Companies. Because it's not just, I know a lot of you guys just know, like, Rubrit. What is it? Is that it? Rubit. I don't really know the names. Mm-hmm. Stake. Everyone knows Stake. Stake's the most popular one, and that's because Train does it and Ecstasy does it, right?
Yep.
If they started to reach out to me, because they're like, oh, okay, you're down to do this. And this is when I was averaging like 20,000 viewers, right? I've grown. These companies were coming to me they're like, hey, we want you to stream on our website.
Yep.
Gamble. And we are willing to pay you $35,000 an hour.
That's a lot of money.
And it's very weird.
That's a lot of money.
Like, I wasn't getting ever. That was double any sponsorship I ever got in my entire life. But listen, it's what they wanted. So they are offering me
So if they're paying $35,000 a month, I would assume that they're probably making a lot of that money back. because if they weren't, then they would not continuously do it. 35K is low.